Hi there, how are you doing? Hope you have a fantastic day today. This lesson, I'm going to teach you how to graph cubic functions. So let's get straight into it. So we have y is equal to x to the power 3 plus 1. So from last lesson, we know how to graph y is equal to x to the power 3. And it's like this, okay? So just graph like this. So this is x to the power 3. Now this time we add 1. Add 1 means the whole graph because it's outside the bracket. So that means the graph move up by 1 unit. That's all. So this graph, it moved 1 unit up. So you can graph like this. And this is it. And let me clear the original one. So there you go. This is y is equal to x to the power 3 plus 1. But we need to write down the y-intercept and x-intercept, okay? So this point here, it's been moved up 1 unit from 0. Remember that? So we label this is 1. Now to find out the x-intercept, so x-intercept means it cut the x-axis. And we write x-intercept. Now at this point here, that is when y is equal to 0 because along the x-axis, y is equal to 0. So to find x-intercept, we make y is equal to 0. So when y equal to 0, this means that x power 3 plus 1 is equal to 0. So I move this 1 on that side, it becomes minus 1. So negative 1 is equal to x to the power 3. So I can write as x to the power 3 is equal to negative 1. So to solve for x, opposite of power 3, we just cube root it. So therefore, x is equal to cube root of negative 1. And then cube root of negative 1 is equal to negative 1. So therefore, x is equal to negative 1. So this is negative 1. There you go. So this is y is equal to x to the power 3 plus 1. Let's move on second one. Y is equal to negative x power 3 minus 1. So let me just get the graph first. So let me label this. This is y-axis and this is x. Of course, at any stage you like to try it by yourself, you can pause the video anytime and work with me, okay? So let's get back to this. So we know that x to the power 3 is go this way, but then it's negative, so it go like this, okay? So this is negative x to the power 3. Negative x to the power 3. And what happened is minus 1, okay? So this one here, we move down 1 unit. So this 0 here, you minus 1 down. Okay, so just shift down 1 unit. So the graph is something like this. It moved down 1 unit. Now this point here, okay, is y-intercept is negative 1. Now this point here, okay, is called point of inflection. Then we need to find out the x-intercept, this one here. So for x-intercept, so write this down, x-intercept. That means it cut the x-axis. So along the x-axis is when y is equal to 0. So we can solve the equations by replace y with 0. So this means that 0 is equal to negative x to the power 3 minus 1. And I move the negative x to the power 3 this side, become positive. So x power 3 is equal to negative 1. And to solve for x, I just cube root on both sides. So that is x is equal to cube root of negative 1. Now cube root of negative 1 is give me negative 1. Of course, if you're not 100%, you always use calculator, okay? So that gives you negative 1. So this is minus 1. So this is y is equal to negative x power 3 minus 1. Let's move on to next one. Now this one here is actually x plus 1 power 3, so plus 1 is inside the bracket. So inside the bracket is shift horizontally from x to the power 3. So let me do the graph first. So this is y, this is x. Now again, very important, x to the power 3 is like this. And then now x plus 1 to the power 3 is shift to the left 1 unit. That's all. Okay. Inside bracket, horizontal shift. Outside the bracket is move up and down. Okay. Please keep that in mind for me. So this one move 1 unit to the left. So this one here, these point inflections move to the left 1 unit. So just write -1 here. And the graph will just go like this. See, like this. Okay. Then we need to find the y-intercept. We already have x-intercept. To find y-intercept, that means along the y-axis, x equals 0. Okay. So x is equal to 0. So please keep that in mind. To find y-intercept, you put x equal to 0 to solve for y. Okay. Very important. So when x equal to 0, so y is equal to 0 plus 1 power 3. Then that become 1 power 3 is 1. So this is the y-intercept. This is 1. So there you go. Next one. So we know that this is x to the power 3 is shift 2 units to the right. Okay, horizontal shift to the right 2 units. Let me draw the Cartesian plane first. So this is y-axis and this is x-axis. And then x power 3, please keep that in mind. This is the original graph, very important. And it moved 2 units to the right, okay? Because it's -2 inside the bracket, it moved opposite. If you're not sure, you can always find the x-intercept and it will tell you where it is, okay? So this is 2 units here to the right, and then I just sketch it. But before you sketch, you can also find y-intercept first. It doesn't really matter, okay? As long as you know roughly where it is. So I just draw this. And this is going this way, roughly. I clear this original graph. So this is 2. And this one here is a y-intercept. To find y-intercept, that means we need to put x equal to 0 because along the y-axis, x is equal to 0. I just write y-intercept. That means when x is equal to 0. So y is equal to 0 minus 2 power 3. So that becomes -2 to the power 3. Now 2 power 3 is 8, but negative power odd number, so that becomes negative. So the answer is -8. Otherwise, you can just put in a calculator. It does it for you, okay? No drama. So I just go, this is -8. So this is how you graph y is equal to x minus 2 to the power 3. This one here. So y is equal to 2 bracket x plus 2 to the power 3 minus 1. Now, with these 2 here, it actually is just the dilations of the graph. That's all. So it doesn't really matter when you draw by itself. Just one graph, it doesn't really matter. But when you do 2 or 3 graphs, you will tell this is the one with the coefficients. If a larger number, it gets steeper. That's all. Okay, so we can ignore that for now. So let me draw the Cartesian plane first. So we know that x plus 2 power 3. So the original graph x power 3, it moved 2 units to the left. Okay, so this is 2 units here, -2. And what happened is you -1, that means it go down 1 unit. This is the point inflections. Okay, let me write -1 here. And the graph, it just go like this and like this. Now with the 2 in front, it's just a dilation. So in this case, of course, we need to find the y-intercept and x-intercept. Okay, so that's just a rough graph. So I clear this first and I find x and y intercept first. Okay, so x-intercept is that mean when y is equal to 0. So we just replace 0 with y. So x plus 2 power 3 minus 1. I move 1 to the left So that become 1 is equal to 2x plus 2 power 3. So what I do next is I divide everything by 2. So that becomes a half or 0.5 and x plus 2 power 3. So I cube root both sides. So cube root of 0.5 equal x plus 2. Then I move 2 to this side. So that is minus 2 plus cube root of 0.5 is equal to x. So therefore, x is equal to, so I just go minus 2 or negative 2 plus cube root of 0.5. Now we need to find y-intercept. Y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. So I just write here y-intercept. So that means when x is equal to 0. So that is y is equal to 2. Now 0 plus 2 is 2. Okay, so 2 power 3 and minus 1. So that will give me 2 power 3 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 minus 1 is 15. Else, you can put in a calculator. So we start from here. We just go that's all. So this is 15. And at this point here is 1.2 negative. And I label this x and this is y. That's all. Now this one here. So 1 minus bracket x plus 2 to the power 3. So this is exactly the same as negative x plus 2 power 3 plus 1. Okay, so this is exactly the same. So first thing is negative. So negative is go like this. Okay, negative x to the power of 3 is like this. And then what happened is plus 2 because inside is plus 2. So that means the graph move 2 units to the left because it's at 2. So this is negative 2 here. And that's a point inflections. And then you move 1 unit up. So it's here. So this is it. So we just graph it. All right. Now, before I do this, I just find x and y intercept. So I just write y-intercept first. It doesn't matter which one you find first, okay? So y-intercept, that is when x is equal to 0. So when x is equal to 0, this means that y is equal to negative 2 power 3 plus 1. And then that give me negative 8 plus 1. So that is negative 7. And then I can find x-intercept. So x-intercept is when y equals 0. X-intercept. That means when y is equal to 0. So to do this, we know that 0 is equal to 1 minus x plus 2 to the power 3. So that means x plus 2 to the power 3 is equal to 1. And I take cube root on both sides. So this means that x plus 2 is equal to 1. And I move the 2 on that side, become minus 2. So x equal 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So that is the x-intercept. So I can put a dot here. There you go. It's just roughly, okay? So there you go. Just a rough sketch, okay? So this one here is 1, of course. You got to label it. So this is y, this x, and this is negative 7, and this is 1 here. So negative 1. There you go. So this is y is equal to 1 minus x plus 2 to the power of 3. Now, please pause the video and try these 3 yourself. Hi, I'm back. So let's check the answer using Desmos, okay? So if you haven't got the Desmos app on your mobile phone, so you can take your phone out and download with me if you have that handy, and then we check the answer together, okay? Let's go. So we just go to Play Store, and then we just type Desmos and just search. So the first one, so we just click install and just open. So let's try the first one. So y is equal to negative x to the power 3. So I press the a power b button, so which is 3, and we just tap on the screen, it bring it down, so you plus 2. There you go. So your graph should be like this. And of course, all you need to do is to write the 2 on the point of inflections, and then the x-intercept is here, and what this number. So if you tap on it, and you should get 1.26. So you should write 1.26 on your x-axis, and the y-axis is 2. Okay, so that is the point of inflections. So let's try the second question. So let me delete everything. So bracket, and then x, I just type x, and then I add 1, and I close the bracket, and then press the a power b button, bring the cursor up, and then 3, and then you minus 2. Of course, I just tap on the screen, and then minus 2. There you go. So the graph is something like that, and then the x-intercept is 0.26, and then you should write the number there, which is minus 1, and the point inflection should be -1 and minus 2. That's one here. Okay, because it moved 1 to the left and moved down 2 units, because inside bracket is moved horizontally. So plus 5, you move 5 to the left, plus 2, you move 2 to the left, or minus 1, you move 1 to the right. Okay, so remember that inside bracket, horizontal shift. If it's outside the bracket, move up and down accordingly. Plus 5, move 5 up. Minus 2, move minus 2 down from origin. Okay, so this is it. The point inflections is here. So you should get -1 and -2. Okay, -1, -2 if you like. So let's try the last one. So y equal to 2 bracket, and we type x minus 2 bracket, press the a power b button, and then just type 3 and tap on the screen, and it brings down to minus, we just prime -1. There you go. So this is the graph. So the point inflection from origin, remember, it moved 2 to the right and 1 down. So the point of inflection should be to -1. You can see here. Tap the screen twice and hold, so you move around. See, there you go. That's a point inflections. Should be to -1. The x-intercept is this one here, and it should be 2.8 and 0. Okay, so you just write 2.8, and the y-intercept should be -17. There you go, -17. Very hard to see, but this is it. So I hope you know how to graph different type of cubic functions, and use Desmos to check your answer. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Bye.